Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant here for MMA H.E.A.T, and I'm talking with Eryk Anders, who, of course, you guys know is a kick-ass UFC fighter, but he's also a big football fan, former football player, right? For Alabama. What position was it that you played, Eryk?
Outside linebacker.
Okay. So you guys know, Eryk knows a thing or two about football, and he's pretty humble, but I know he made like a really important play that helped his team win the championship. Every time Eryk fights, basically, we roll this package of you and Coach Saban. It's pretty great. It's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest coaches in the game, and certainly taught me a lot about being a competitor, and trusting in the process, and how to do things the right way to get where you want to go.
Absolutely. Okay, so the reason we're here today, folks, is you might have caught a championship game on Sunday. There was an AFC championship game, and the Patriots won. I am one of very few Patriots fans out there. I got John Anik with me. I got my boy Kenny Florian. I got DW, Dana White. All of us are from New England. But pretty much I think like we're the only Patriots fans in the whole UFC.
That's it. And Charles Rosa, he's a big Patriots fan too.
Okay.
He's from up there in Boston, so.
Okay.
There's one or two of y'all, but it seems to come out of the woodwork about playoff time.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, Joe Lozon's down, stuff like that. So, the penalties is really what it all comes down to, Eryk. So I wanted you to have a chance to kind of talk about some of these penalties and what people should look for when the Pats go up against the Rams in the Super Bowl. And I know the tuck rule is why everybody hates Tom, basically, right? I mean, if you can explain what it is, because people are hanging on to that. That was 2002, my friend.
Yeah, well, before that, it was, nowadays, if your arm is making a forward motion, it's an incomplete pass. But they made that rule up on the spot and jipped my man Charles Woodson out of a Super Bowl, man. I don't appreciate that. And it just seems like they make up rules on the spot for Tom Brady. Tom Brady gets tackled below the waist, can't hit a quarterback below the waist anymore. Patrick Mahomes gets slapped in the face. It's not a penalty. Somebody breathes too hard on Tom Brady. It's 15 yards, automatic first down, puts him in field goal range. It's just, I don't hate Tom Brady per se. I just hate the treatment that they give Tom Brady. So
I hear you, but it is better for quarterbacks to not get clipped below the knee. I mean, that's a service to all quarterbacks right there, Eryk.
Yeah, well, so apply that to every quarterback and not just Tom. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. Okay, so it's the special treatment, and I see it. But now he's old and fragile, Eryk. So shouldn't he be treated specially?
Not at all. But I can't complain too bad because my dog Dante Hightower's on the squad. So
there you go.
He's probably looking to get himself another Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, John Jones's brother Chan was on our team, and he was killing it. So.
Now it's our team. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, listen, I'm a lifer. It's really is my team. For those who think like I'm some bandwagoner, I grew up outside of Boston. It is legit my team all my life. Okay, so here's the thing. So let's say we're in there and it's getting close. So what exactly do you consider to be roughing the passer? Because it was called the other day on Tom. I don't necessarily think that he was being roughed. So to your point, I'll give you that one. That was a little bit weak. But to you, what would roughing the passer actually be, and why should it get called?
Man, actually hitting the quarterback after he throws the ball.
Yeah.
Not just. The gust of wind from his hand. Clearly the exact same thing, but worse happened to Patrick Mahomes, and they just let it ride. Did nobody say anything? Not at all. And Tom Brady, a gust of wind from the defensive player's hand. Oh, that's 15. Give it to him.
I see. But listen, you have to admit that it was Kansas City's own error in coming down and scoring and leaving that much time on the clock for Tom.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm not taking anything from Tom's legacy, man. You give Tom 30 seconds on the clock, fourth quarter, he's probably the guy you want. If you get to pick any quarterback, Tom's probably the guy you want back there.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is call the penalties as you call them for everybody else. It's clear as day that Tom gets the special treatment. He's kind of the poster boy for the NFL. Everybody knows who Tom Brady is. So, I just want an even playing field. That's all.
For sure. Okay, I hear you on that one. So here's what I'm saying. Like, I actually was rooting for the Saints. I got a lot of friends that are from New Orleans. Even though I live in LA, the Patriots are my team, so I haven't really bonded with the Rams. And I do think there was a robbery there. So let's talk about pass interference, because that's legit. And I feel like, to me, that's the call that they literally sometimes are like, I don't care. Yeah. Like, they just completely just blow that call off sometimes.
Man, I have a theory that, the matchup between the Rams and the Patriots is better for the Patriots than the matchup between the Patriots and the Saints.
Yes.
So this is apparently it's Tom Brady's last year. So once again, it comes back to Tom. We need Tom to get this MVP, get the Super Bowl, right off into the sunset. So, I think once again, Tom is up to something.
But it's a Hollywood. It's a Hollywood ending. I mean, it's kind of you don't want Tom to win and have that great.
Man, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I said even playing field, regardless of Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes,
right.
Jared Goff, whoever it is back there.
I get it.
But we know that's not going to happen. So, they might as well not even blitz Tom Brady. They might as well just sit back, because even if he does have the ball, they're going to call a penalty and, hit him in his chest. They would blow the waist or targeting or something. People are going to start getting thrown out of the game. Patriots are going to win this game by a lot, and they're not going to have very many penalties. There's going to be a lot of penalties called on the Rams.
We'll see. But this is the thing though with pass interference. Like, you are allowed to put hands on, right? But like literally the other day, the dude was getting mugged at the end of that game, and like just totally didn't get called. So when you're out there on the field and you see, like, when you in your mind when you were playing, or even just when you're watching now, like, do you feel like you have a very clear line that you can decide what's pass interference and what's not?
Yeah, the defensive player, the rule says the defensive player has just as much of a right to the ball as the offensive player.
Right.
However, he's got to be looking for the ball. I forget, I think it was 23 for the Rams. He wasn't even looking at the ball, for the ball, or anything. He left his feet, took flight, and speared the dude. And I think it was, I forget the receiver's name, but, it was clearly pass interference, and they didn't even targeting, so. Once again, Tom Brady making those cash payments, man. I already know what's going on.
Well, and so in your conspiracy theory, then I guess the Rams got the win too, because then that way we get East Coast West Coast for the finale. Because I know some people were saying that thing. They were like, oh, they don't want Kansas City and the Saints in the finale because, like, the cities aren't going to be so big and people aren't going to be as invested. But if we get East Coast, West Coast, and, Brady and all that kind of stuff, I know some people think that that's why maybe the call was given or not given on the Rams.
I don't know, because New Orleans isn't too far from Atlanta. It's probably like a 6-7 hour drive. And, those New Orleans, people from Louisiana, are diehard fans, whether it be LSU, the Saints, or what have you. So they'll make that drive. They'll make that trek. Kansas City, it's been so long since they've been in the playoffs and got a playoff win and almost make. And if they make it to the Super Bowl, people buying plane tickets, man. They're gonna go support.
Right.
So I don't know if like location of the city had anything to do with it. I'm telling you, Tom Brady likes the Rams. I think he thinks he's gonna pick apart the Rams secondary. Yeah. So he's delivered the bag, made the payment, ripped out the call.
We'll see. Well, and I've been in that arena, that stadium in Atlanta, because I did a couple of the Falcons games, and it was funny. I did notice the other day they posted up after the Saints lost. There was like a picture of Julio Jones, like smiling, and they were like mood. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we didn't win, but neither did you.
Yeah, but man, I would like to see Mark Ingram was my dog too, man. But I can't complain about who's going to Super Bowl because all 4 teams got Bama players on it. So, I'm happy to see, maybe Mark Barron gets himself a Super Bowl ring playing for the Rams. It's going to be really, 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 really tough. Really tough. Yeah. And if it's even close in the fourth quarter, once again, man, they got Tommy B back there, the second best quarterback of all time at the helm.
So Drew's number one? Who's number one?
Peyton. The sheriff. My man has no off man. My man did it all by himself. Tommy B has the best coach in NFL football history.
Yeah.
I also want to see Tom Brady without Bill. So.
Okay. All right. Well, here, listen.
We won't get to see that though. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's tough. Well, here, what's your take on holding? Does that get called enough or not enough?
Not, I mean, you got to let them play. There's holding every single play,
Right.
and especially in the trenches, offensive and defensive line. So man, it probably doesn't get called like what the rule states holding is. But man, you got to play, man, because you would throw a flag every play if you call a holding.
Right.
What holding, what the rule states holding is. So
Yeah.
I think if it's flagrant, throw the flag. But if those hands are inside the shoulder pads, it's not holding in my opinion.
All right, I hear you. And last thing I wanted to ask you about, because this year it was different when they talked about lowering the head to tackle, and that's one of those things that's going to be really tricky, right? Because I feel like sometimes they'll pay attention and call that, and sometimes they don't. And you guys, I mean, like I was telling you before we started, my dad coached Pop Warner. I remember him teaching kids how to tackle, and you guys are supposed to lower down and go in there. So when they changed all that about spearing and the head-to-head contact and all that, as a defensive player, like, what was on your mind? What do you think of those rules?
I mean, I think every time they change the rules, NFL particularly, they're making it more offensive oriented and making it more difficult for defenses. However, I think now with all like the CTE studies and stuff, like everybody knows what they're getting into. It's not like the 60s and the 70s where, guys were, popping pain pills, going out there and playing hurt, injured, and whatever. So I think, it's football. Let it be football. I mean, I think that, if you lead with the top of the head, it's more detrimental to the defensive player because, you're going to hurt your spine that way. So I do think they need to hit with their head up. But, man, head to head, that's why they wear helmets, man. It's the nature of the game.
That's
Football it's not tiddlywinks. So, let the guys go out there and play. There needs to be a degree of rules for the safety of the players, but sooner or later, man, they're just gonna be out there playing flag football. And
It's
they
so
keep
funny
on
that,
doing what they're doing.
No, it's so funny you say that because literally, I had before the football season, I went. We have these big meetings with the NFL, and that's exactly what some of the guys in the room were saying. When you got Troy Aikman in there and you got a lot of these former players, and that was it. They're like, are we gonna be able to play football anymore? That's the whole thing. They thought it was being kind of pansied out a little bit too much and taking away from the grit of the game that they liked, and they didn't like that. It was kind of becoming too soft.
Yeah, man, like growing up, man, I was watching guys like, Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor, he was he played for Miami, played for Washington. He's coming in there head first, busting heads. Brian Dawkins, guys like that. Those guys aren't Hall of Famers or legendary players, playing nowadays.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So what do you what's your prediction then for the game? Brady by theft? I mean
Brady by theft. Yeah, robbery in progress. 211. Police need to be on site.
Yeah, what is it? I don't know the police code for a robbery.
211.
211. That's right.
Robbery in progress.
That's so good. It's going to be a 187 on the Rams, so that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they'll bleed out. Yeah. It'll be like, hit like in the artery or something, bleed out slow.
There you go. Well, like I said, the other people too, though. Patrick Mahomes has plenty of time. Like that, he's gonna be the man. Like I don't think there was too much stress on his part losing to Brady and it was a great game. But I feel like Mahomes is already sealed. Like that guy's totally set. Got a great career.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't go through that sophomore slump that you see a lot of players go through. But man, I think they're just gonna keep adding weapons. Keep adding to his arsenal, improve the defense. Shout out to my dog Reggie Ragland. Had that pick on Tommy B in the end zone.
Yeah.
Tried his best to set him up for success, but once again, it's a team sport. One bad apple ruins it for the bunch. So,
right.
That offside penalty really killed the game, and And by the way, listen, man, Julian touched that ball. I don't care what anybody says. The officials look at his right hand. The left hand. It bounced off he tried to scoop it.
Right.
Baseball. And man, come on, man. My man touched the ball, man. He's supposed to have a touchdown.
Well, and it was, there was a couple of plays. So I had to watch that game on a plane, which was really hard, like sitting there and not being able to scream. And I did anyway, a couple every now and then. I was just freaking out in the plane and I didn't care. But I literally, when I sat down, I sat down and I looked at the guy next to me and I went, Chiefs or Pats, And he's like, Chiefs. I'm like, yeah, no, I know everybody is. I'm like, but I'm not. So just so you know, I'm going to be real hella obnoxious during this flight. And like every now and then, this dude, I don't know this random guy, but every now and then I was like, did you see that? Whatever. But there was one point where they ruled it a catch, and it was like a real close thing, and I was like, all right, I'll give you that one. Like maybe they can call that one back. I won't be that mad. But they actually did give it to us as a completion anyway. When he kind of bobbled it and stuff like that. I was like, well,
Tommy, man, it's Tommy B, man. It's Tommy B. He got the 2% of craft. He got an unlimited amount of money. He making payments, man.
That's true.
This is all going to come out sooner or later, just like the Deflate Gate.
Here we go. He's not the only one who held the ball. Deflategate, there's a million people who touch the balls. It's not just you. Stop.
Yeah, it's like, you send somebody to do your dirty work. Oh, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything. But you're really the conductor of the orchestra.
Pulling the string, the puppet master. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I see what you're saying. Well, listen, on another note then, we'll get away from the football for you. Do you have another fight? I mean, because last year you were really busy, right? It was like 4 fights last year.
Yeah.
And all of them were awesome. I mean, win or lose, I think you put on a great show, and I feel like you really were able to establish your name last year, which I thought was a really, really good thing. But I can't remember now if you have a fight scheduled yet or not.
I don't have a fight scheduled, but the UFC is coming to Nashville, which is like 3 or 4 hours straight up the highway from us here in Birmingham. So, McMahon, Dana White, Sean Shelby, just throw me a name. Doesn't matter. 85, 205. Y'all already know I'm down for whatever. So let's make that happen.
So, but do you feel better at one weight or the other?
I mean, I really didn't get a fair, I can't say a fair shake. When I fought at 205, it was on 6 days' notice.
Yeah.
So, 205 is easier to make. I'd like to see what I could do at 205 when I'm in fight shape, because there's a big difference between being in shape and fight shape.
Yeah.
So maybe I fight at 205, but they find me at 85, and I'm cool with that. I just need a little bit more time to cut weight, more effectively at 85, so I have all my energy on fight night. So I've definitely been in that situation, as an amateur. I'll cut like 30 pounds in a week.
Yeah.
And then only have 1 round in me. So, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Especially fighting these guys at 85, man. This is murderer's row.
Yeah.
Some of those guys, especially in that top 10, top
For
15.
Sure.
So, I'm cool with 205. I'm definitely one of the bigger 85ers.
Yeah.
Probably up there with the 205ers too. So, short notice, I'll fight at 205. But if I fight at 205, give me 8 weeks to get in shape, and I'll be there.
Cool. Well, and also, there is more opportunity at 205 in terms of it's a shorter path to the title. You know what I mean? That class, there's just not as many guys there.
Yeah, I think there's 33 205ers and like 80 middleweights in the UFC currently. So, obviously that's a number that I look at. But, I don't care who I fight, when I fight, man. I just like to get in there. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
I'm a special kind of dumbass like that. So, I like to get in there and bang it out.
Nice. Very cool. Well, and also just last before I let you get out of here is, a lot of people are psyched about it being on ESPN. They feel like, they'll get more visibility and stuff. So I'm just curious for you as a fighter, like, does that get you excited? Does that switch to a new network, like, mean anything to you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I played all my college games on ESPN and CBS and stuff like that. So I think it's especially good for the fans, especially in the summertime, because it's kind of like a doldrum. Like, I don't like watching baseball. I think it's, incredibly boring to watch on TV. Fun to go in person, to a baseball game. They're fun to go live. But on TV, man, I just can't do it. So I think it gives, sports fans something else to watch, especially during the summertime. Cool. So I think it's going to be really good for the UFC, growing the sport and things like that. Awesome.
Very good. Very good. Well, okay, lastly, so, I don't know what the point spread is yet. I don't know what they expect the score to be. But I have a drawer full of... No, I have a drawer full of Patriots stuff already. And I'm just going to show you, Eryk. This is how old school I am. This is the old logo.
Man, you probably bought that yesterday, man. You can get that anywhere.
No, this is legit. Like from when I was a kid and everything. I've had this thing forever.
Man, that thing is not worn or tattered. The colors aren't
because it's a prized possession.
Man, that thing is brand new, man. Stop.
No, it isn't. It really isn't. I wish I had a tag in there to
Amazon.
see how old it is. It's old, old, old. Come on, man.
Man, I bet you there's an Amazon box lying in your trash can. You were taken out to the trash yet.
Hell no. Hey, listen, thanks for being a good sport and basically speaking, like I said, for 99% of the population. I know everybody hates my team, but I'm behind them anyway. But I appreciate your candor and I appreciate you explaining some of the rules. And I mean, every now and then they do call something for Tom that's maybe
like 3 times a game for Tom. And I'm not talking about like first quarter, like first series of the game. I'm talking about we're in the 4th quarter. Like, this is a very pivotal play in the game. This is going to decide who wins or goes home. That's the kind of stuff they do for Tom. They put him in field goal range in the AFC Championship or whatever in 2002 with the Raiders to give him his first Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. They rule him a catch. They give him first downs. I don't know. Man, that's crazy, man.
All right.
I just watch. He's gonna write a book on his deathbed. He's gonna be like, I paid him. That's gonna be his last words on his deathbed. I did it.
Could you imagine?
And then he's just gonna croak.
Peace out. Peace
That's
out.
it.
On that note, Eryk, thank you so much for joining me. And hopefully you get on that Nashville card. And if not on Nashville, something soon. You're really fun to watch when you're fighting and stuff. So really appreciate your time. And good luck in your next one. Go Pats!
Thank you for letting me be the voice of the people.
See ya.
Later.